welcome to another edition of Express Yourself. I'm LaSonia Johnson, your co-host.
And I'm Vernon Richardson, your host.
You know, Vernon, I'm so excited. There's so many small businesses that are on the rise.
Up and coming.
I see them every day, and it's beautiful.
Absolutely.
I mean, we have people, part-time employees and full-time employees that are just going into businesses and trying to make it happen for themselves.
You're absolutely right. You know, more and more people that I meet come across finding out that, you know, the regular JOB is just not enough.
It's just not enough. Can't get that satisfaction.
You know, so they go out on their own and they venture into other things and other projects that help better themselves and help, you know, build that self-esteem.
And also gives them an opportunity to utilize what they do best. But, you know, it's also mind-boggling in that there are a lot of people who are not furthering their careers by continuing with their education.
That is true. And, you know, the old saying and statement, you know, higher learning, you know, is positive, is essential. And, you know, the whole thing is about educating yourself to be all you can be.
And that's the key. Stay tuned. We have a very special guest who is very successful and who wants to share some of his success with you. We'll be right back.
To love, in spite of all, is the secret of greatness. A message from the Church of Scientology.
Hello and welcome to another edition of Express Yourself. My guest tonight has achieved many major accomplishments. One and only, Mr. Wallace Stevens. How you doing?
Hey.
Welcome to Express Yourself.
Thank you, Vernon, and thanks for having me on your show, and I'd like to congratulate you on a very successful venue.
Well, thank you. You know, I've been somewhat, you know, doing this for like 4 years, and it's been tough, man. It's been really tough, but at the same time, it's been very rewarding. And, you know, doing a production show once a month, you know, at times we can get a little rusty and get a little sidetracked because we're doing a lot of other things. But, you know, we're here to talk about you. We're here to help you and help our, you know, viewers, to give them some motivation and build their self-esteem, because you have done it all. You have been to the top. You have, you know, hit some low ground.
That's right.
And, you know, so again, as the chairman and the CEO of Stevens Engineer Company.
Well, I'll be happy to tell you a little bit about Stevens, Vernon, but more so I'll be happy to share some views with our viewers, particularly those who aspire to be young entrepreneurs, on some of the things that are necessary for them to succeed in life. Of course, Stevens Engineering started with $100 in the back of his pocket, back seat of a 1968 Plymouth Barracuda.
Go ahead on.
And over the past 18 years, came to employ over 160 people with revenues over $25 million a year. However, with the government cutbacks and things like that, Stevens Engineering experienced a severe downfall, but you know, that's just the price you pay for being an entrepreneur. Today, Wallace Stevens himself is going strong and well and on the way to rebounding back into entrepreneurial spirit. But getting back to what I said earlier in terms of those who would like to really experience the fruits of the world, I would say the first thing that you would have to do is to believe in yourself.
All right. That's right.
Once you believe in yourself, then everything else is possible. You must develop a will to win. A will to win against all odds without stabbing and sacrificing your fellow man.
That's right.
It's kind of ironic that when you look at the world today, or even the entrepreneurial spirit within our communities, we have not communicated to our young people how to succeed in life. And again, if we do not believe in ourselves, then we are destined to fail.
That's true. That's true. I mean, in that ideology, I mean, you put that well. I mean, you have a lot of entrepreneurs and business people that are really out to do good. But what happens is, along the way, they forget who has helped them. Saying, you know, you don't want to burn your bridges.
That's true.
But as an entrepreneur, we all have to have that motivation, have that self-esteem, and that thrive, you know, to go ahead and to continue.
I think that in terms of eventually being successful in life, the one determining factor is that we do not give ourselves an excuse to lose, but we must give ourselves every opportunity to win.
Beautiful
now,
concept.
That sounds like book talk, but let me just take it a little further.
Okay.
One of the things in life is that our vision has normally been tunnel.
Okay.
We do not tend to see the big picture.
Broaden our minds, so to speak.
The reason is we are afraid of risk. We would rather walk down a paved road than to blaze our path through a shortcut because of fear that we might not be able to cut down enough trees to get to the other side.
Okay.
Reward is based on risk. The more the risk, normally the more the reward. It should be a calculated risk to the best of your ability. But those who have made it in this world are those who have ventured to take a risk.
Right.
It's very easy to say, I'll get the bus to go on the other side of the town. It's a lot less easy to say, I'll build my own road and own the other side of the town. So, you know, risk and reward. But that's what we must begin to see in terms of a mindset and expand our vision.
Right.
Instead of just getting to the other side,
And
why not
stopping.
think of owning the other side?
Ongoing. You know, keep it
and
ongoing.
owning it.
Right, right. Why not?
Why not?
You know,
We go to the bank to deposit. Why not own the bank that we make deposits in?
That's true.
You know.
But out of all the things that you know, a lot of entrepreneurs, black entrepreneurs, minority entrepreneurs own, we still yet somehow not being able to own a one major hotel. One major hotel. I mean, we have a lot of millionaires, billionaires, but why not a hotel where everyone has conferences, meetings, you know, the whole 9 yards, and we do not have a place or an establishment right here in the metropolitan area. So what do? I mean, we have a lot of people that are at that level that can afford it, that can make that happen, but it's not happening.
Again, particularly during the times, the Black Caucus, which was just a few weeks ago.
Okay.
I normally ask myself, why isn't it that blacks do not own a major hotel? I forget the amount in tens of millions of dollars
that we put in.
that we spend in Washington, D.C. during Black Caucus, hotels and foods and services and things. But we do not own one of those. And I think one of the reasons is that we are afraid to take the risk.
The stakes are high, of course.
Yes. But another reason is, and I'm being very frank and very blunt, is that we do not trust each other as brothers and sisters. We are more concerned about how much you are going to get out of a deal as compared to how much I am going to get out of a deal, instead of saying it's a good deal for everybody. And eventually everyone wins. But I'm so busy worried about Vernon is driving 5 Rolls Royces and I'm driving a bicycle that I don't want to help Vernon get to the top. And that's the way we've been. We must change our way of thinking, because unless we begin to help each other, spread the economic wealth among our communities, 10 years from now, everyone who comes into this country from another country, those people are going to be ahead of the African American, the black, or whatever. They're going to be ahead of us because we do not have trust in each other.
Very well. I mean, you're hitting it right on the nose here. I mean, everything that we discussed and talked about is because of our feelings towards one another, the jealousy, the non-trust. You know, we have to trust someone to a certain extent to move on, to grow, because we can't do it all by ourselves. And it's just a notion that we just have to come together at some point in time and say, let's utilize all our sources, you know, information, and just bring numerous projects and just do them. Now, I know that you have a lot of experience in the international market as well, because 50% of your business was based on a great reward of that. So tell us a little bit about the Kuwaiti Deal and some of your projects there.
Sure. When you look at the universal pie in terms of goods and services, 80% of the goods and services that are purchased are outside of the borders of the United States of America. That means that only 20% of the goods and services that we're vying for are right here in America. Right here. So the international pie offers more to entrepreneurs in terms of mass than our domestic pie. So if I'm competing against you for 20% of the pie, my chances are very nil. But if I'm competing against you for 80% of the pie on the outside, my chances are greater. But then if I combine those and compete against you for 100% of the pie, which means domestic and international, then my chances are even better. Then I'm going to win. So we must take the chance and opportunity to look at providing our goods and services outside of the United States of America.
All right. Well, I want you to hold your thoughts, all right, because we're going to go away for a very special message, and we will return right after this message.
Thank you.
Trust.
Trust.
Trust. Förtroende.
Convoy. Trust.
Dentui.
Database.
Yakin.
Tiwala.
Sanyanay.
विश्वास है
Confianza. Shinle.
fiducia
Bizalom.
tin cậy
Доверие. Trust.
On the day when we can fully trust each other, there will be peace on earth. A message brought to you by the Church of Scientology.
Hello and welcome back to Express Yourself. My guest, Mr. Wallace Stevens. You know, we talked about numerous things and talked about your career, the job, but, you know, something happened last year, last October 16th, the Million Man March.
Yes.
How did that affect you? Did you participate, or where were you? You know, we want to know a little bit about, because you have truly taken the role model, being a role model and being an entrepreneur, you've certainly molded yourself to be a very successful man. So what do you think about the Million Man March?
First of all, I was on the wall.
All right, okay.
I think that I had an obligation as a black man to participate in the coming together of an event that's never been transformed like that in history. Notwithstanding views about Minister Farrakhan, and I certainly think he gave a wonderful speech. Okay. It was about black brothers and some sisters coming together in unity for a common cause, and that's the betterment of the black or African American community. And I was certainly glad to see it. I was a little disappointed to see that we didn't do quite as much this year. Of course, the New York and the Washington thing. But it was very well worthwhile. I participated, and I'm glad I did. Not just for history, but because there was a feeling there among us all.
It was a spirit,
that,
truly.
There's just, you just can't explain. But it was a spirit and a feeling that will last with me forever.
Yeah. Man March has done a lot and has done a lot for me. But for the most part, what have you done and what have you somewhat put back into the community lately? Because I know that you have a list of community contributions.
That's a very good question. And what I tell most people is that no matter what your occupation or your goals are in life, you must give back to your community. And you must participate in the community, be your churches, your school, or your other civic groups. I get somewhat embarrassed when people ask me what I put back in the community, because I don't like to talk about what I have done, but I will put it in this context. It's what God has allowed me to do. In the community. And I'll give you one example. A couple of years ago, there was a school, Sea Pleasant School. I got a call from a political person that said the kids had no books, paper, pencils, nothing to go to school with. To make a long story short, we drove over in vans with book bags, with pencils, with notebooks, with papers, with lunch boxes for every kid in that school. And could you imagine the kids walking up to the stage to get their goodie bags and all of the things they needed to go to school? And that's just one example.
It's wonderful.
The churches, I've always put back into the community. And I say, again, I prefer not to talk about it. You know, people know, but we must give back.
Yes.
And I say, if any of us are to be successful, we first must participate in civic activities, political activities, and of course your church, your God, and your families. But in terms of your political activities, doesn't mean that you must be a politician.
Right.
But you must understand the political process, because laws, rules, and regulations are made every day that affect your lives.
That's right.
Affect my life. And if we do not participate, we have no argument.
That's true.
If we don't agree.
You're absolutely right. And you know, we got the, just for the same sort, the elections, presidential elections, we need to get out and register. We need to register. That's number one rule of thumb. We need to reinforce ourselves, at least register, okay? And then the next step, take the next step to vote.
I agree. We must register and vote. And it doesn't matter whether you are Democrat, Republican, or independent. At least exercise your right to vote for your beliefs. Again, if you don't, and you don't win, even if you vote and you do win, at least you had a voice in what's affecting you.
And that's
what's important.
Right. That's very much so. Now, you've accomplished a lot, but I know that you have a lot of other things under your belt. And I know it's big and tight, but talk to us and share with us about some of your other goals and other future things that you have in mind.
To be very, very, very blunt, my next goal in life is to become a ground-up billionaire. Self-made, not buy anything, but just to make it from $0 to billion.
Okay, I need some water now, so excuse me.
But I am working with a lot of other small entrepreneurs, black entrepreneurs, minority entrepreneurs, in getting their products to market. Working with a cosmetic company, XL Cosmetics, a chemical manufacturer, Renew It Incorporated, and some other small businesses. And that's the way you give something back. You lend your expertise to give back, to help them get to market. And hopefully, they make $1 and you make $1.
Right.
But the thing is to share those lessons learned, being
share
in the
that
mud,
knowledge.
yes, so that they don't have to go through the same learning curve.
Right.
Again, it helps to expand the economic base in the black community.
Okay. Now, I know that Stevens Engineer
Right.
Company is kind of like going by the wayside,
Yes.
so to speak. Where do you go from here? Where do you, I mean, besides getting into your other, you know, goals, and I mean, that is your major core. I mean, you generated over $25 million in revenue at one time, a year.
Yes.
You know, and all of a sudden you're going to set aside. So share with our viewers briefly, what happens when you take a fall like that?
Well, you know, we always like to try to control our own destiny, but sometimes you can't control based on government cutbacks and a lot of things like that. And I was about a 95% government contractor. But if you are an entrepreneur, you first thank God for the successes that you've had. You take the experiences that you've learned and you continue to build. Stevens Engineering, yes, is going by the wayside, but Wallace Stevens is still moving ahead. So you take all of those experiences and you put them to other things.
Okay.
Because I am an entrepreneur.
All right. We're running out of time. We're running out of time, but I would like to say this to you. You know, keep on keeping on. Because Wallace Stevens, you got it going on. And any last comments you would like to share before I Express Yourself viewers?
I would just like to say, particularly to our younger people, stay in school, but you do not have to have a college education to win. This world was built on the trades and the crafts and the blue collars. I look out now and I don't see our black brothers and sisters out in the construction industry like they were many years ago. But I would like to say, you do not need a college education to win. All you need is to will within yourself and your God, and you can go wherever you would like to go. Thank you.
All right. Well, there you have it. From a millionaire, soon to be a billionaire. You heard it right here first on Express Yourself. Thank you, Mr. Wallace Stevens. Come back again, man, and keep on expressing yourself. All right. To my Express Yourself viewers, don't go away. We will return right after this message.
We're at war, and I'm in a gang too, except my gang is the United States Navy, and we're fighting for campaign drug-free. We're gonna have to win this war, and it's gonna take you. Go find a kid or a school and get involved.
Hello and welcome back once again. But I tell you, we got a little something special for you. You know, someone that's quickly rising to the top. You know, stardom is about to, you know, meet her at any time. And her name is Melissa Manjon. And she is here with us tonight. And she's going to share with us a very, very beautiful song what we're going to share with you. And she's going to like kind of take out the show tonight. So welcome to Express Yourself, Melissa. And you just had a birthday.
Yes, on Monday. I turned 13.
Happy birthday.
Happy birthday. You didn't have to tell us how old you were on the air because, you know, they would have, you know, they might give it away. They're like, oh man, you're so gorgeous, you know. Oh, keep it secret. Keep the age a secret. It's too late now, but it's all right. So, what are you doing right now?
Well, I'm in the process of recording demo tapes and hopefully getting it in the process to send out to people, and hopefully maybe I'll get signed.
Great, great. So understand that you've been kind of like, you know, a born singer, so to speak, you know?
Yes, I've been singing since I was a year and a half.
Ooh. So you've been singing all those little baby songs and, you know, Twinkle, Twinkle, Little Star and stuff like that. Well, who are some of your favorite recording?
Mariah Carey and Whitney Houston, but mainly Mariah Carey.
Okay. Any special song? Any certain song?
I don't know. I probably couldn't pick.
You couldn't pick just that hard, huh? Okay. Also, I understand that you did a remake some time ago. I Never Can Say Goodbye.
Yeah, by the Jackson 5.
Yeah. Okay. So how did that go? How did that happen? And basically, just share with us a little bit about that.
I was listening to it on the tape, on cassette, and I just really, it caught my ear, and I decided that I wanted to do it.
Okay. All right. Great. Well, now we're just going to have you take time out and express yourself and share with us that wonderful song. And Don't Leave Me Behind.
Ooh.
Okay, let's go.
All right, now. Didn't tell you I used to sing either.
Oh, yeah? We don't want to hear your singing.